What if I told you that, right now, there are people in your life who could make you obey them without raising their voice, without threatening you, and without you even realizing it's happening? And what if I also told you that some of those people are living completely fake lives, carefully constructed characters, designed to gain your trust, your attention, and eventually, your money? This is not fiction. This is psychology, weaponized. And tonight, we're going to decode it. Welcome to Lucid Code. Tonight, we're diving into the hidden psychology that makes strangers obey and the people who fake their entire lives to exploit it. By the end of this video, you won't look at confidence, success, or charisma the same way again. Think about the last time you said yes, when deep down you wanted to say no. Maybe you helped a coworker, lent money to a friend, stayed somewhere that felt wrong, or tolerated someone who didn't earn that space in your life. You probably said, "I didn't want to be rude. It was easier this way. It wasn't a big deal." But what if that wasn't the real reason? What if your mind was quietly following a set of psychological rules, rules that can be hacked, rules that can be weaponized, rules that are used on you every single day? Let's start with the first one. There's a part of you that wants to believe you're always in control, that your choices are yours, that you can't be influenced easily. But decades of psychology say otherwise. There was an experiment, one of the most disturbing ever conducted. Volunteers were told to deliver electric shocks to a stranger in another room whenever they answered a question incorrectly. They heard the screams. They heard the begging. They believed they were causing real pain. But a man in a lab coat said, "The experiment requires that you continue. No threats. No anger. Just calm authority." And most people obeyed, even when they believed they might be killing someone. That's your first psychological switch: authority. Your brain is wired to trust people who look like they know what they're doing. A uniform, a title, a confident tone, or something as shallow as an expensive watch. Sometimes the surface is enough. If someone appears to be in charge, a part of your mind steps back and thinks, "They must know better than me." And here's the dark part. This instinct is triggered not only by real authority, but by people who imitate it. People who dress like authority, talk like authority, move like authority, but have nothing underneath. Another switch is reciprocity. When someone gives you something, anything, your brain creates a debt, a compliment, a gift, a piece of advice, a small gesture of kindness in a moment of vulnerability. It feels generous. It feels polite. It feels fair. But deep inside, a voice says, "I owe them." Then comes social proof. 2 restaurants, one empty, one full. You already know which one feels safer. A video with 2 likes, another with 2 million. You already know which one feels right. When everyone else approves, your brain takes a shortcut. They can't all be wrong. And finally, scarcity. Last chance. Only a few spots left. This offer expires tonight. Scarcity hijacks your survival instincts. Urgency replaces logic. You rush. You say yes before your doubts can catch up. Authority, reciprocity, social proof, scarcity. Alone, each one is powerful. Together, they form a hidden obedience protocol. And the most dangerous part? Most of the time, you don't feel forced. You feel like you chose. Now, imagine someone who doesn't just understand these switches, but builds their entire identity around them. The life faker. Not just a liar, a performer. Someone who designs a persona the way a filmmaker crafts a character. Here's how they build it. They start with authority. The car, the clothes, the tone. The curated job title, investor, coach, entrepreneur, consultant, they don't need to be any of those things. They just need to look like it. Then they add social proof. Followers, real, fake, or both. Testimonials, some exaggerated, some fabricated. Photos with important people, whether those people actually know them or not. Your brain sees the likes, the engagement, the hype, and whispers, everyone else trusts them. Next comes reciprocity. A free call, a discount, a personal tip, a bit of emotional support at the perfect moment. They study your fears, your hopes, your vulnerabilities. They position themselves as the person who gets you. And finally, scarcity. The price goes up tomorrow. I only accept a few people. This won't be available next week. You feel the window closing. You trust faster. You question less. You override your intuition. On the outside, the life faker looks like a success story. On the inside, they're running an emotional heist. Sometimes they take your money, sometimes your time, sometimes your confidence, sometimes your identity. And when the mask cracks, they don't apologize. They vanish, rebrand, move cities, switch platforms, start again. Same script, new victims. So, how do you spot a manufactured life before it gets that far? Start with this. When a story sounds too perfect, it usually is. Life fakers love extremes. They were completely broke, then suddenly successful. Everyone doubted them, but they proved the haters wrong. Real life doesn't work like that. Real people have messy timelines, contradictions, and boring middle chapters. Then look at how their story reacts to pressure. Ask for specifics. How did you do that? What came before that? Can you show me one real example? Do they stay calm or defensive? Do they answer clearly or hide behind buzzwords? Do they welcome curiosity or shame you for asking? Manipulators hate specifics. Specifics expose them. Next, pay attention to pressure. Do you feel rushed? Pushed? Like the opportunity is dying in the next 10 seconds? Healthy opportunities survive time. Fake ones expire fast. Watch your boundaries. Are you doing things you didn't intend to do? Agreeing to things you didn't want? Bending until you barely recognize yourself? Every time you bend, they gain control. And finally, trust your intuition. You feel inconsistencies before you can explain them. A weird reaction, a strange timeline, a detail that doesn't add up. Your intuition is not paranoia. It's data. It's your last line of defense in a world full of masks. So how do you break the spell? Slow everything down. Time exposes everything. Separate image from evidence. Forget the watch, the followers, the confidence. Ask what's real. Test the relationship with tiny no's. See how they react. And talk to people from before, not the fans. Not the curated testimonials. The ones with nothing to gain. Patterns will show. Anyone can say the right thing once. Life fakers specialize in it. But their patterns, those never lie. We all want to believe in illusions. The mentor who will save us. The partner who will fix us. The opportunity that shortcuts the pain of growth. Life fakers thrive on that hope. They sell you the version of yourself you desperately want to become, then charge admission. But once you understand the psychology behind obedience, once you recognize authority, reciprocity, social proof, and scarcity as tools, not truths, everything changes. You start asking better questions. You move slower. You trust your intuition again. And when you do, you don't just protect yourself from manipulators. You protect your future, your identity, your peace. In a world full of illusions, your awareness is your shield. This is Lucid Code, and now you know what to look for.